Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
I don't know why, but I felt like that dramatic ass intro was necessary for this fight. The fight that everyone has been waiting for. Francis Ngannou versus Derrick Lewis, a heavyweight slugfest banger coming to UFC 226 in Las Vegas. Of course, that's going to be headlined by champion versus champion super fight, Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier. Now we got this is probably the best heavyweight fight. I mean, as far as the one that the fans have been asking for, two of the top heavyweights in the world. Francis Ngannou is ranked #1. Derrick Lewis coming off a big win over Marcin Tybura, third round KO where he conserved his energy, came back. You know, to a lot of people's surprise, got that third round KO. Now, with that being said, I know there's a lot of you detractors and critics out there. Hell, at first glance, right after Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic, I was the guy that said, what in the Francis 5,000, you know what I'm saying, versus because Francis Ngannou gassed out a little early in the fight. It looked like maybe after the first round, definitely by the end of the second round, Francis Ngannou might have been out of energy versus the champion Stipe Miocic. But to be fair, that had a lot to do with the champion Stipe Miocic's game plan. And, you know, so people are saying that Francis Ngannou got exposed versus the champion. Now, that doesn't even make sense when it comes out of my exposed versus the champion. That means he got through how many guys to get to a title fight? I'm sure a lot of those guys thought, maybe he doesn't have the, you know, gas tank, the cardio that I have. Maybe I can live until the, or, you know, survive in the fight until the second or third round and take advantage of him there. Maybe I have better wrestling than this guy. I mean, after all, he did fight Curtis Blades, who's a top contender right now, earlier in their careers, who was a Division I, very high level wrestler. It's not like just anybody's going to be able to come in here and do what the champion did to Francis Ngannou. And styles make fights. Stipe Miocic is a very well-rounded fighter, but also he's a smart fighter, and also he had the high-level wrestling to be able to control Francis Ngannou, the bigger fighter, against the cage and take advantage of his inner, you know, him gassing out. Now, is Derrick Lewis a guy that you expect to come in here and win this fight with his jiu-jitsu or his wrestling? No, you're expecting swiggity swinging, biggity banging, like he's turning left, he's biggity busting a right. Derrick Lewis and Francis Ngannou, man, there's a very real potential someone gets knocked out in this fight. And it's not a 5-round fight. It's not like it's a main event. It's a 3-round fight. So you don't really have to worry too much about cardio in this fight for these guys, even though it's still a concern. You know, if one of these guys uses too much energy in the first round, possibly, and they don't get the job done, they could be tired going into the second or third round. But I'm not too concerned about that in this fight because, you know, it's not against the champion Stipe Miocic or a guy that you're expecting is going to, like, try and wear him out with his wrestling against the cage or on the mat. These guys are coming in here to throw blows, in my opinion. Francis Ngannou and Derrick Lewis. This is a fight that everyone has been waiting for, added to UFC 226, which is at the beginning of the year, this card was being talked about like the Super Bowl of MMA, like, you know, 3 champion versus champion super fights, Miocic versus Cormier, you know, the international fight weekend. It's right after the TUF finale. Those guys are coaching TUF. 2 champions are fighting on the card. Probably going to get more title fights added to the card, and on top of them, just dope fights added. We've seen how stacked UFC 225 is. This is another fight added to UFC 226. Can't wait to see how the rest of it fills out. With that being said, make sure you check out the live stream coming up in an hour and a half or so. We're going to talk about all of this, the UFC fights tomorrow and everything. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the cool time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.